Joshua was going to connect with a bomb.
Yeah.
And breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah. And
his jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
He cooked. He should retire, man. That was a clear
retire?
Like, hell yeah. That was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's a reality check to stay in your own division or
literally running. Look at some of those rounds. He was running. He was going north to south, not side to side. He was running.
Joe Rogan urges Jake Paul to step away from boxing following his knockout loss to Anthony Joshua, warning the path is dangerous. He explains damage from fights like this doesn't end after the bell, but can follow a fighter for life, harming mental health, memory, and emotional balance. Rogan cautions that repeated trauma leads to depression and neurological issues, stressing no amount of money or fame is worth risking health.
Brain imbalance that's going to lead you to addiction. It leads so many people to impulsive behavior. So many people become gambling addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics after their fighting career.
Yeah.
It's you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh, you know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, there was a lot of concussions in that one punch.
Sure.
That was real damage. Like if someone's breaking your jaw in 2 places, the inside of your fucking head there's a lot.
Psychologist Derek Venshake says Jake Paul faced extreme danger against Anthony Joshua. He notes the volume and accuracy of Joshua's punches, including a clean right hand that fractured Jake's lower jaw in 2 places, could have been catastrophic. In the closing moments, Jake's body language showed fear and exhaustion as he grasped the seriousness of the situation. Cornered and exposed, he appeared to plead silently, shocked by power he had never felt before. Venshake explains such punishment isn't only physical. It can trigger lasting psychological and neurological damage. The fight showed Jake was overmatched, and continued bouts with elite boxers could endanger his health. Experts agree that after such trauma, retirement is necessary.
The number of punches he threw, and also aim a little lower to land that clean right-hand punch on the side of Jake's face, which fractured his lower jaw, still hospitalizing Jake Paul, but not actually killing him.
If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Rolls-Royce, Fiat.
The variety of emotions we see in the final moments of the fight are fascinating. AJ finally corners Jake, hits him with a quick left-hand jab to the body, which lowers his guard, opening up a clean right-hand shot to the head. You can see AJ smile there when he sees Jake had fallen into his trap and knows that he's about to finish him off.
And then you just keep exploiting that. Some people give up. Some people get knocked out.
Jake's body language and facial expressions when he knows it's all over for him is a little sad as he whimpers in the corner with that scared, nauseous look on his face, realizing this may be his final moment on Earth.
If I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. I don't believe he's gonna hit me with those shots.
You gonna hit him with that?
100%. And land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
If you look at Jake's eyes and face, he's pleading for mercy to AJ as if he's a child. Please don't do this.
Some people get knocked out.
It's actually quite surreal that the moment many of us were concerned what happened to Jake actually happened in real life.
If Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua, unloading on him, could be the end for him, literally. It could be his last day on earth.
Jake Paul was helplessly exhausted, badly beaten, and cornered where AJ could have unloaded a flurry of clean punches on Jake. When he takes that clean right shot from AJ, breaking his jaw in 2 places, and then falls to the ground.
And his chin served on a platter, and look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Some wondered why Jake had that emotion of excitement. Do you know why? When he was cornered by AJ, Jake's amygdala.
The boxing world reacts forcefully, arguing Jake Paul has been exposed and should step away immediately. His bout with Anthony Joshua became a brutal reality check, proving he's outmatched at elite level. Experts and fans note the knockout and punishment highlight physical and mental dangers. Insisting retirement now is the smartest decision to protect health and future.
He should retire, man. That was a clear
retire?
Check. Hell yeah. That was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's a reality check to stay in your own division or, don't jump in class so far up. Not retirement. He ain't get slept. Like, you don't give him no respect for that?
Hell no. Gang.
What?
I'm saying, look at his list. It's all high-level boxer. And you've seen what just happened when he stepped up to a legit boxer. He got cooked. he got to retire, man. He either got to retire or start fucking with these misfits boxer dudes. He ain't gonna make it with that kind of skill level, man.
Netflix ain't gonna take a misfits type of fighter, bro.
Facing a larger, taller opponent, Jake Paul repeatedly dropped to a knee, risking serious injury. Each fall exposed him to potential ligament damage, similar to what happened to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Sergio Martinez, which permanently altered his career. Beyond the broken jaw, collapsing under Joshua's 260-pound frame drained energy as Jake struggled to rise again and again. Analysts say he hit the canvas multiple times, exposing poor strategy and sloppy technique. Bold talk of knocking out Joshua only widened the gap between hype and reality. Fans and experts agree the performance showed Jake was outmatched, overexerted, and physically exposed, proving that continuing at this level is reckless and dangerous.
In there with a bigger, taller person, so keep taking the knee. First of all, your knee, you can get ligament damage. Remember when Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was losing every round to Sergio Martinez, and then Martinez fell to the ground kind of weird? He messed up his knee. He was never the same fighter. So you got a broken jaw, but you could have tore ligaments in your knee by having a 260-pound man, fall on top of you because you keep making it sloppy and falling around and spilling about. And even if you don't like rupture something or tear a ligament or whatever, it's not really much better than someone leaning on you. Do you know how much energy you exert by having to be like 220 pounds or whatever, 216, and keep picking yourself back up? Like I seen a thing, I didn't count myself, but it said there were 12 or 13, maybe 14 times that Jake Paul was on the canvas. Horrible strategy. And Netflix, I don't even see how they would like that. And for me, this generation they're chopped, bro. Jake Paul did all this, and y'all want me to give a bunch of credit. Jake Paul did all this talking about Joshua getting knocked out. You did whatever to sell the fight, but you didn't make good. That doesn't make you look good when you talk crazy and talk spicy, and then you have no intentions of fulfilling that. And then you got the Jake Paul fans and the Andrew Tate fans, because they lost kind of back-to-back, where they're trying their hardest to turn this into some inspirational story. Like, oh, as long as you try, it doesn't matter. No. Andrew Tate said, what do you call someone?
Joe Rogan explains Jake Paul had never faced anyone like Anthony Joshua or felt that level of pressure before. After fighting Joshua, his body absorbed power it had never encountered. The punch that fractured his jaw in 2 places may have caused deeper internal damage, possibly involving the brain. Rogan stresses this isn't merely physical injury, but a serious warning about the dangers of facing elite fighters, as such trauma can carry lasting consequences beyond what appears immediately.
Sure, he could make 190.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
He's so big.
I give Jake so much credit for stepping into that ring.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb, a right-hand bomb.
When he got hit with that too, I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that, I mean, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness immediately to go like he looked at the crowd like, oh shit, like wow.
He goes,
it wasn't like
cracked. I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for.
Analysts say Jake Paul barely survived his fight with Anthony Joshua, repeatedly dropping to his knees and hitting the canvas throughout the bout. Despite this, Jake later claimed he whopped Joshua, a statement many experts dismiss as absurd given the circumstances. Observers argue Paul's motivation was financial rather than competitive, making excessive praise unjustified. Unlike casual YouTubers seeking publicity, Jake entered the fight with 12 professional bouts and 2 legitimate losses against credible opponents, proving his record has faced real tests. Analysts stress that surviving against a world-class heavyweight is not the same as winning or dominating. Overhyping the performance, they say, distorts the reality of the fight. Context matters when evaluating Jake's claims, his wins, and his defeats. The emphasis, analysts conclude, should remain on the genuine dangers fighters face inside the ring, not inflated narratives driven by money, hype, or social media attention that ignore the true risks involved at elite levels.
Boxer who had a 12-1 record, well, he's 12-2 now, lost against the two boxers that was young and healthy and who trained boxing and not from a different sport or over the hill or retired, okay? You treat him like a boxer. Stop calling him a YouTuber. Stop calling him, because this is what they're doing now. We saw all the predictions. Y'all didn't see the predictions where everybody was shitting on Anthony Joshua and not putting respect on his name, acting like he's going to get knocked out? Tyson Fury said it. Oscar De La Hoya said it. Drake put $200,000 on Jake Paul. Nate Diaz said Anthony Joshua was going to get knocked out. David Hay picked Jake Paul. Let's not forget, right at the press conference, they went on the whole panel and asked who would win, Anthony Joshua or Jake Paul. And everybody was saying Jake Paul. Ridiculous. We're going to get into the disrespect of Anthony Joshua. So let's treat him like a real fucking boxer. Because he is. When I said once, this is what I told everybody. Once he actually fought Tommy Fury, who was the first boxer he fought. Once he fought a boxer, win or lose, I said, now I count him as a professional boxer. I'm not counting you as a professional boxer when you're fighting NBA players, other YouTubers, MMA fighters who are even just fucking wrestlers and BJJ practitioners like Ben Askren and AD.
Brendan Schaub argues that the idea of Jake Paul beating Anthony Joshua was never realistic. He says there was no genuine path to victory, regardless of fan belief. While some claim every fighter has a puncher's chance, Schaub calls that thinking uninformed. At elite level, against someone like Joshua, the gap in size, strength, and skill removes that possibility entirely. Even if Jake hits hard for a 200-pound fighter, he wouldn't rank among true heavyweight elites. Schaub adds the fight should have been marketed, honestly, focusing on whether Paul could survive the rounds without being knocked out. Movement and avoidance were the only viable strategy. Any narrative suggesting dominance or meaningful offense was misleading, distorting the reality of elite boxing and creating false expectations for audiences and reinforcing hype that ignored context, danger, and professional standards completely overall.
The way this should be marketed is not, can Jake Paul beat Anthony Joshua? That's insane. That's not real. That's not real in any facet. There was never a chance. There's never a chance. And the Jake Paul fans, and I was getting this a ton from DMs and comments going, well, everyone has a puncher's chance. That's an uneducated opinion. A puncher's chance, yes. If they're in a bar and Anthony Joshua's there at the pub and Jake Paul were to sneak up behind him and hit him in the back of the head or, in the side or something, maybe, even then, he's a little light in the ass, but maybe that's a puncher's chance. In a professional bout where a professional fighter at the level of Anthony Joshua is at, and he is going into a ring knowing and expecting to get hit, there is no puncher's chance when there's that much discrepancy in talent level. There's not, especially when the size difference. And some of you will say, Jake Paul hits hard. To you, yes, to you. But also, Jake Paul hits hard for a 200-pound man. He wouldn't even measure in the top 1,000 professional heavyweight boxers in the world as far as the strength knockout meter, if there is such a thing. It's not possible. So a lot of you were tuning in for saying, well, he has a puncher's chance. That's not real. That doesn't exist here. And now they could do this, but I don't think it's going to get the same amount of views, but it would set expectations. If, when this fight was announced, Jake Paul's team said, hey, we're fighting Anthony Joshua. Who thinks we can last 8 rounds? Who thinks we can go all 8 rounds? Who thinks Jake Paul can go 8 rounds and